Hello everyone, and welcome back to the HyperNest Podcast. Today we're going to discuss building and the intersection between Web3 and fan engagement. And because of that, we're going to discuss with Chiliz and with Altug from Chiliz. Before we enter into the details and the nitty-gritty of this fantastic chain, I would like to ask Altug to introduce himself.
Hello, Alessio, and hello, everyone watching. Thank you for inviting us today to this podcast. Much appreciated. And introducing myself, I've been with Chiliz for the almost 6 years now. Actually, wow, almost 6 years, long time.
Wow.
But yeah, I started as a consultant and joined the company back in 2019 and moved into becoming the director of the Socios and the Chiliz Turkish region. And now my role is to work in the Chiliz lab site as an advisor, but a very hands-on advisor, I must say. I do a lot of work with partners and ecosystem mainly, and business development. Yeah.
And you have an incredible background in football and business, as far as I know. So you're the right person in the right spot, right?
Yeah, I like to think so. Yeah, I did my master thesis and everything in how to create value in football with blockchain. That's back in 2016, 17. I've been involved in football over 10, 15 years actually now. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's a good match, I must say.
Fantastic. I was reading your profile. Say, okay, that's a perfect match. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Chiliz, in particular about Chiliz Chain. So Chiliz Chain is not just another L1, but there is something incredible there. So first of all, incredible user base, 2 million users, and 70 really super partnership, I would say. Partnership from FC Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, UFC, extending now also to rugby, and much more, even motorcycle. So tell us a little bit more about this incredible ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, as a company, the vision was to actually give the fans a voice, but for esports. That was the beginning of it. And Alex and Max, our CEO and CSO, they started the company to focus on the new, emerging industry, esports. But over time, it evolved into becoming a bit more real life, touching the football, which is basically the most popular sport in the world. So it was a simple idea, basically. Fans deserve a voice. That's where it came from, and it's basically reshaping the whole fan engagement industry. Since 2019, we managed to become the first partner of all these biggest sports clubs in the world within the blockchain industry, and creation of fan tokens came from that, basically. Yeah.
And absolutely, and I think that is Chiliz is for sure the most advanced chain connecting the real world experience. So everyone is talking about real world assets, but let's talk about real world experience, in particular in the area of entertainment with blockchain, and that it is, in my opinion, the absolute leader.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we focused on, offering real utility to the fans, because most of the projects that we saw in the industry, they offered a lot of dreams and vision. Rather, we decided to change that with offering actual experiences and real life utility, where we create another level of engagement for the fans who wants to get a bit closer to their favorite teams. And especially during the COVID, this was like a big hit because people couldn't attend the events. And we tried to tap into the fans, like 99% of the fans who can't attend the matches. Yeah. And at COVID times, the stadiums were closed. People didn't have that the boost of engagement feeling from going to the games. It became really a need. And that's how we drive into becoming a new layer one, because we grew so fast. So now the idea is to actually create an infrastructure. In the last couple of years, that's what we've been working on. Create an infrastructure that is the next generation for sports and entertainment experiences, basically.
That's fantastic. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the fan tokens? I think this is a beautiful transition to this a little bit the core, or at least how Socio started, right?
Yeah, I mean the fan tokens, like I mentioned, it's a simple idea. Like at the end of the day, if you own a fan token, you get to expose your voice within your club. So the clubs usually, whoever launches a fan token, for example, we can talk about Juventus back in the day when they transferred Cristiano Ronaldo. I think one of my favorite polls was picking the song that is played after each goal is scored, and it was our one of the biggest polls at the time because it directly affected the fans that were in the stadium as well, not just outside. So actually, that game, song 2 won, and Ronaldo scored a hat trick in that game. So the whole stadium and all the fans listened to that song 3 times actually. So that was a big win. And we have a couple more really cool activations with fan tokens. One of them, which I was involved back in, I think it was 2020 or 2021, with Galatasaray, when we transferred a new big star into the team. We got the fans to actually pick his jersey number. And there is one more that I think is very close to my heart. I wasn't involved in it, but I love that poll, which was Apollo Limassol, a Cypriot team. They were playing in a friendly match, and they asked the fans to fix the formation for them and who is going to play on the match in which positions.
Wow.
And Apollo team actually won that game 6-0, which was a big success. But so the dream always became like, can we create something similar in the long term? But yeah, we'll see. And yeah, fan tokens is not just like making decisions or just joining the polls. You can actually earn a lot of rewards. If you stake, at the moment, there's a new feature in the app. If you stake your fan tokens, you can actually earn reward points. And in these rewards points, you can use them to claim rewards such as experiences like going to the training field of AS Roma when the team is on the field, or getting a VIP experience ticket to watch a big Champions League game, or just if you're a fan of a player, you can get a match-worn shirt of the player and all signed and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to owning a fan token at this stage.
Very, very cool. And each team can somehow also, let's say, customize the experience a little bit, right? Or
Yeah. Yeah, it's up to the team, whatever they want to offer to their fans. We obviously give them a template and give them an idea of how they can do things. And yeah, it's up to them to decide what they want their fans to be involved in, basically.
I see, very interesting. And from your perspective, how is Chiliz different from other chain attempting to enter in the area of consumer engagement, let's say, or fan engagement?
Technically, we are not much different than any other EVM chain. We are an EVM compatible chain. We offer exactly the same features of any other Ethereum virtual machine ecosystem, basically. And we used to be a layer 2. We used to be a side chain on Ethereum. We decided to become a layer 1 in the last couple of years. And the biggest differentiator is that we are very focused on sports vertical. And obviously, we have some of the biggest IPs in our ecosystem. And this makes it like differentiate from a lot of the chains because we can offer direct real life user base to the depths who wants to launch on Chiliz, and they can actually integrate some of these fan tokens to offer benefits to the fans of these clubs. So there's like an already built ecosystem of fans and IPs that developers can utilize to build upon.
I see. There is a very, very strong foundation for people to use these assets, and capitalize from these assets that are already super strong IP, and they're famous, of course, all over the world. Talking about Paris Saint-Germain, right? Barcelona, Juventus, and so on and so forth.
100%. Yeah, that's the goal. Like we have a few hackathons coming up. One of the biggest ones, actually, one of our first big one, I would say, is going to be in Paris Saint-Germain Stadium, Parc des Princes.
Wow.
in July. So yeah, if anybody's listening who's a builder, you might want to come check it out and apply for it. Yeah, we'll be offering up to $150,000 in rewards for different categories and tracks of solving problems for the biggest sports clubs in the world, basically.
Fantastic. How they can get in touch with you? We'll also put inside the comment the link, but if they want to participate in this hackathon, how can they apply?
They can go on the chiliz.com website. There is like on the header, there's a register now button. They can sign up from there. Or if they want to talk to us, they can go on our Telegram and it's Build on Chiliz. It's very easy and you can communicate with me, with our community managers and our tech support specialists. You know, we're all there.
Fantastic. So you were already touching briefly on the EVM compatibility. So would you say that building on Chiliz is similar to build on an L2 of Ethereum, for example, or any other EVM chain, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's, I don't like to say it, but it's we are a fork of BNB Smart Chain, so it's exactly the same features, basically.
I knew it. No, it's a super solid chain, so there is nothing.
Yeah, it is a solid chain. We don't need to recreate the the wheel, basically.
Yeah, we don't need to reinvent the wheel every single time. I completely agree with you. So what tooling then are they available for builders? Do you have any specific knowledge base for them? I know you have some.
Yes, so we got a documentation website called docs.chiliz.com. The builders can find anything they're looking for in there. Actually, it's quite simple. Our great content writer Xavier did an amazing job there. So anybody who wants to build on Chiliz, they can just go onto there. And we also have a developer course which people can reach on chiliz.com. It's more focused on Web 2 builders to become kind of Web 3 oriented. And we work with a lot of the tools like Third Web or Tatum, and we have RPCs from Anchor, and everything is there for developers to utilize. If they need anything more, you can just ask if you're missing something. We're happy to provide. Like we were missing an indexer a few months ago. We managed to fix that up really, really quickly. Onboard a new partner there, and it's all an evolving ecosystem. We usually try to accommodate for the needs of our builders as we go.
Okay, that's great. So not only you have a very familiar, let's say, developing environment, but you're also improving it along the way to make sure that the builders feel comfortable going there.
Exactly. Whatever they need, they can come to us. We're happy to provide.
Great. That's fantastic. So we touched briefly on the hackathon. What about Greenhouse? I know that it's a little bit of an alpha here, but you have been cooking this for quite a long time now, and soon it will be launched, right? Maybe you want to provide some information.
Yeah, actually, it's been it's been just about a year since the idea was first planted. As the greenhouse suggests, we try to create an environment or more like a framework to offer microgrants to builders and content creators. And this platform will be live hopefully next week. Yeah, so this is basically the alpha that people are hearing for the first time. We're supposed to launch it this week, but yeah, next week is the real launch. So we will have like what does bounty or project mean? A bounty is something that is a mini reward for up to 3 individuals or teams to complete. It could be like building a Telegram bot, or it could be writing content for the Chiliz ecosystem. So we have some Chiliz rewards that will be listed there, and also for the projects which are a bit bigger than bounties, these will be a single person or a single group to complete to basically get a chance to work on it, and it will have much bigger reward, obviously, because it's going to take much longer time to build it, and these are usually development projects, basically.
I see. So I assume that there will be several categories in the greenhouse.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, we're focusing on coding, content creation, AI, Web 2, Web 3, video content, written content, and yeah, there's a lot of different categories. And it will again evolve as we go, and we're also open to suggestions. Like if somebody has a great idea and they want to build it on Chiliz, they can just send us the idea. We can analyze it and put it up as a bounty or a project, so that they can actually build it and earn rewards for it as well.
That's great. That's great. So they just need to keep an eye on the greenhouse. There will be probably next week available. Just following the Chiliz website and Twitter, and probably they will be aware that it's coming out, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll be sharing on our socials next week, hopefully.
Great, great. So looking forward to that. And now looking a little bit of the ecosystem of projects on the Chiliz chain. What would you like to see, build next? Yeah,
this is the thing that we're actively working on. It is because we want to solve problems, right? Like you've been doing this accelerator for a long time. I know you for at least 2 years now, actually. And
we met in the US, I guess.
Yeah. It was in Consensus, I think,
Austin.
Yeah, and yes, you know this better than me, obviously, like building a product for no reason never works. So we always try to find a problem, and we always try to solve it with new technologies, emerging tech that can make it more efficient and more beneficial. So this is a part where we look into improve upon, because like there is problems with, for example, fan identity. There's problems that we see with loyalty. There's problems with facility management, ticketing. There's a lot of things that people are looking to, like especially in the clubs, they're looking to solve. We are working actively with clubs to understand what their problems are and then try to offer them. And also another thing, this is very common in Ethereum ecosystem, in this culture. We in the hackathons we try to create these tracks, but we give freedom to the builders to decide what they want to solve, what kind of problems they want to solve. So we're also looking into how we can incentivize the creativity juices of these builders to come up with great ideas. And it is something that we're actively working. The most important thing is obviously how can these products be human-centric so that they can be well adopted into the real-life use cases, because we don't want to build something that is not going to be used. We want something that is actually effective in real life as well, and utilizing our network for that. Yeah, so it's like building paths to mass adoption. That's the idea.
Oh, that's super cool. So having you have partnership with probably the best football team in the world, and if you know that they have a specific need, I bet that one startup would like to build it, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're trying to get it out of them. Tell us your problems, and I think the hackathon in Paris will be one of the big triggers of this first big change in perception and understanding together. Like if we can solve a couple of problems that they are having, I think it's gonna go as a wildfire to help everybody else.
Absolutely. I was also reading a tweet from Alexander, that he was saying, actually, our fan token almost work like prediction market. So because they move, up kind of in sync with the football match. And I was thinking, why not perps, right? So why not? I mean, sorry, my mind is strongly hardwired to DeFi. So I cannot think in a different way. But when your team is winning, you own the token, you go long, whatever. I also would be, I think, something super cool.
No, I agree. I think if people want that, it's permissionless. It's a permissionless chain. Tokens are permissionless. People are free to do what they build, what they want to build. Why not? To be honest, our main focus is obviously the utility part, and the idea is to offer the fans a connection with their clubs. But I mean, like I mentioned, it's a permissionless chain. People are free to build what they would like, they think is proper. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ticketing, actually, funny enough, you were asking me how long have you been, doing that? I mean, now it's like 7 years or something.
Yeah.
But you will be surprised to know that more than 5 years ago, we were already working with one startup building on-chain ticketing. It's just better, just much better to solve like secondary market, to serve reselling. You can even, ask to pay fee when the people resell token to someone else. So there is a high level of programmability that you can use with the token and with NFT. That I'm not sure why in the world not all the tickets of the world are NFT or programmable on chain.
I think it's gonna become that way, because the problem that we are facing right now is comes with adaptation and adoption. People are still trying to understand what this technology will bring, especially the executives in these clubs. They're still learning. Even the governments, they're still learning. We're still working on legislations and regulations and all these things. But I completely agree with you. NFT ticketing is solving a lot of problems for these clubs, giving them the power to own their own systems and create new revenue models. The company that builds a really like top-notch NFT ticketing model, I'm sure it's gonna pick up fairly quickly if you're able to offer it to some of our clubs. And I know some clubs are looking for this.
Yeah, I think the one is this is a low-hanging fruit that will solve so many real problems, and there are other companies already having traction in the space. So I think it might be a great startup to support, to invest in.
No, I agree definitely.
And I know that you're cooking so many things. What's the vision of Chiliz for the next 12 months? We also have seen Alexander going to the US a few times, discussing a little bit with the political layer there. What's happening?
We were in the US back in I think 2022. That's when we first entered. Did a lot of partnerships there, but after all the sagas that happened in the US, we had to pull out. But now, again, the new government and new rules. Alex and the management team are working hard to get back into the US, and you can see in his tweets, he's very determined to get back in there, and I would be very excited, to be honest, because the US is a big market for us, and the sports culture there is very different to Europe and everywhere else, and the amount of engagement and the money flow is just crazy. So I think it's a big opportunity for us. And what we're trying to do right now, from my side, Chiliz Labs and the builder economy, we're trying to scale up the Chiliz Chain to be ready actually for bigger partnerships and bigger creator economy and builder economy. And so we're onboarding new projects and working with you guys is another step to scaling that opportunity, basically.
That's amazing. We are super excited to work together with you guys. So indeed, we were moving to, I think, if I remember correctly, you also, Chiliz is the gas token of the Chiliz chain, right?
Yes, it is the native currency. So it's used as a gas token as well.
So there will be also a lot of burning. So the more the chain scale, do you have also a burning mechanism?
There is a burning mechanism. It's just like how Ethereum implemented it. So it's with every time there's a transaction, a percentage is getting burned. It's just like in Ethereum tokenomics. We did the same thing. Actually, we forked it almost a year ago, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight this because, if the chain starts to scale dramatically, there will be also a little bit more burning happening there.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the more we scale, the better it will become, and that's what we work for. It's at the end of the day, we want to make a real impact. Not just speculation as well. So real impact comes with real usage, and that's what we focused on right now.
Absolutely. So we are talking a little bit about the future. What would you like to see in 12 months from now? So let's say, okay, now is in 12 months, we are in May 2026. What's happening on the Chiliz chain or in the Chiliz ecosystem?
So I think the first thing first, we need to get Greenhouse live. Fund at least, I want to fund at least 10 big projects through the Greenhouse in the next 12 months. And with you guys, I want to be able to go for at least 5 or 6 projects to be incubated and accelerated, more like accelerated actually, and be ready and for the public use and reach some high TVLs that we are hoping for. The idea is to create a model where we all benefit from building together, and we not just offering rewards for builders to like, because usually you know how it's been in the blockchain ecosystem. There's like chains give grants, and what the projects do is like go chain by chain, collect grants, and just do nothing at the end of the day.
The grant mercenary sport. It's also a form of sport.
yeah. Indeed. So we want to change that. That's why we created this pipeline or let's say a roadmap with you guys. So we will be supporting projects from the Greenhouse and the Hackathon. The winners will be admitted. Not all of them, obviously. Some of them that we think are made for it or ready for it to be admitted to the HyperNest accelerator, and then from there on, you guys take them for 3 months, and in those 3 months, you give them some really hard work, intensive workshops, and get them ready from 0 to 1. And from there on, the idea is to hopefully fund them and get them to become the next big thing in the Chiliz chain. So the next 12 months is basically focusing in this roadmap and the pipeline. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And again, we are super excited for that. We are going to use the classical system of stick and carrot, right? So first massage when it's needed, then push, massage, a little bit of both. That always help, right? But yes, they are going to have access to all our mentors. That are more than 50 mentors now from all the big DeFi protocols like Aave, Bancor, Xmaker, a lot of legal support from all over the world, from the US or Europe, because everyone make different rules and we need to be compliant. And anything else from token economy to how to attract liquidity or to how to design an interesting airdrop and just not creating sell pressure. So we'll create a lot of support for them, also related to fundraising, clearly, to help them also to fundraise, not only to do grant farming, but also how do you attract capital from people that care. So we are in touch with more than 70 investors at this point in time, helping them. So we'll help them with the classical pitch deck, the delivery, the data room, and all of that. So a lot of hand holding, but also support, also push when it's needed. So that would be the idea. And we are really excited to work together with you guys and help the startups coming from the hackathon and also the Greenhouse.
I'm very excited because I know how you work and how diligent you guys are, how organized you guys are. The projects that will be admitted to HyperNest are very lucky, and it's going to be a huge change for our ecosystem because it was the missing piece, I would say, for us to kind of take them from 0 to 1. Because we were kind of giving grants, but we weren't holding their hand to push forward because we kind of expected them to do it. But it is needed for some founders to have a roadmap to take, and you guys can deliver that really well, especially with your network and experience of your team and the advisors as well, the mentors that you guys have. I think we're very lucky to have you guys with us, and it's going to be a huge opportunity for our developers for sure.
That's amazing. We are super excited. I think that really, you're really working on, you're unique in your positioning. You're really working really in the intersection from real world experience and blockchain. So if everyone want to onboard the next 1 billion of users, right? Everyone. But then they build the most degen project in the world that, okay, I like it, sure. But you're not going to onboard 1 billion people with the super degen project. You're not going to make it. That's clear. And I think the entertainment industry, just considering how many people follow football around the world or UFC, fighting sport around. It's an incredible amount. If we just can convert really 3% of them, I'm not saying 10%, I'm saying 3%. Mm-hmm. So it means that the people on chain will become 10x. So currently, the estimated amount of people on chain are between 30 million and in the most optimistic, 60 million. How many people follow football? Maybe a billion people? Something like
billions.
that?
Billions for sure, yeah.
So that's absolutely, incredible. So that would be, I think, the key to bring blockchain adoption at the consumer level. So
No, 100%. I agree. That's why we started this journey, because there is a big opportunity. There's a big. It's a way to get adoption actually, the blockchain adoption actually in place. Because, like you mentioned, they are really there. They're interested in this industry. We have a already strong community that is willing to take chances of testing out new products. So it's an opportunity for builders to actually have a pilot, just launch, test it quickly. If it fails, it fails. Then they can pivot. It's a really good environment for them to test and scale afterwards.
Absolutely. What would you say to the builders that are listening to us? What would you say? I mean, I think we have already said a lot of things regarding why they should come and what tooling we have, the initiatives. But if you want to send one message, what would it be?
I think the best thing to do as a builder is to build something quick and dirty and test it, like I just mentioned. That's one advice I give to all founders and builders, because most of the time founders fail to realize what they're trying to solve may not even be something that needs to be solved. And then testing it early on and seeing if it actually works or not before investing money or before going to investors is critical. So yeah, do it dirty and quick. Test it with our community. I'm happy to test it myself. I'm happy to drop some coins in there, see how it works. And yeah, we go from there. That's the first thing I would like to say. And then yeah, just do it. Launch something.
I completely agree with you. So it's better to have a little bit of traction, or let's say market confirmation that what you're building is not just a dream that's showing the classical fancy metrics. Oh, we have 5,000 people on Twitter say, okay, fantastic. And are they going to buy from you? Are they going to use your product? Yeah. Are they interested in your product? Do they know what's your product? Are they farming your airdrop? Why are they there, right? So I completely agree with you. Quick and dirty is definitely the way to go. Experiment, and sooner or later you're gonna hit the multiplier.
No, 100%, man. That's most founders. They work on their products, like every detail, trying to become perfectionist, but they have this fear of launching, fear of failure. Most of the time, just don't fear. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Who cares? You just go and do another one. You build something else. That's part of being an entrepreneur and being a founder. You need to find ways that actually works. You need to overcome challenges, beat obstacles, and yeah, find something meaningful at the end of the day.
Absolutely, we should do. You made me think of that we should do a series. Interviewing a great entrepreneur out there, and ask them how many times they failed before succeeding, right?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Because people tend to be fixated and say, okay, yes, this guy, now he's a millionaire, okay, was lucky. Lucky? Maybe he failed 100 startups before, and it was successful one time, right?
Exactly.
So I think that it's important for a young entrepreneur or new entrepreneur to understand that entrepreneurship is a process, is a journey where most of the time you fail. And once you make it right, and then somehow you learn the process, like Super Mario, right? So you pass level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you're getting better at it. So you can actually replicate somehow those successes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's the key. You just need to learn from failures, replicate the success, and then you come to the end where it's where you are lucky at the end of the day.
Exactly. So, but what's the future of, now that I'm thinking about it, what's the future of the intersection between Web3 and entertainment industry? So we have seen a lot, of course, of football going on chain with a fan token, UFC, so fighting sport. I've seen motorcycle. There is e-gaming that actually you also have a lie between the partner, I guess. What's next?
We actually launched, sorry, not launched, but announced new esports team today, Ninjas in Pyjamas. So we are continuing to expand in the esports vertical. In terms of fan tokens, yeah, if you go back into the US, if we manage to launch again, I believe it's gonna affect the verticals in sports as well, not just soccer, football. I mean, next year it's World Cup in the US, so obviously football is gonna be a massive topic again. But yeah, the biggest sports in the US is different. It's NFL and NBA.
NBA, rugby, yeah.
Yeah, so potentially, I don't know. To be honest, I don't work in these partnerships, so I can't really tell you much information. But it seems like we will have a few more verticals in the future.
Okay, also expanding more to more classical entertainment, like, I don't know, movie or something like that. I think I was reading something in that direction.
It is something we discussed. We did an activation with Spider-Man back in a few years ago. But I think sports is our thing. We are the sports blockchain, and we want to focus on that and be the leader there. If an opportunity comes, if somebody wants to launch an idea within the movie industry or the music industry, I don't think we're going to be against it. We would be happy to support. But for now, yeah, I don't see any projects that come to us anyway with those ideas. And it's difficult also, especially the music industry and movie industry is very well parcellated by some oligopoly, I would say, and it's difficult to enter that market and be disruptive. If you try to disrupt these industries, you become like Spotify almost, and you have to fight in courts, and so it's a tough, high barrier industry, I would say. Yeah, that's why we focus on sports nowadays. Yeah.
But I think it makes sense, right? Because if you consider, so what I really love about Chiliz, that there is a specific position, right? That is missing in, I mean, I don't want to sound harsh, like by 80% is very optimistic already, of, let's say, the L2 and the other chain, right? Because all of them many of them are very generalistic. Say, what do you do? Well, we do a little bit of DeFi, we're exploring gamify. Actually, no one is talking anymore about gamify, but it will come back, I guess.
Yeah, play to earn is dead now, unfortunately.
Play to earn, Axie Infinity is not there anymore. Maybe we'll come back, who knows? Then there is a little bit of AI now because it's cool, right? Deep in, but in reality, if I ask you, what is the difference between this chain and that chain?
You can't tell. Yeah.
OP stack here and there.
Yeah, ZK, OP stacks, speed of transactions. Yeah. The users don't care, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the transaction speed is very important. Like I realize using chains, completing transactions in split seconds is a big change. I think that's what we kind of need to work on as well from our side, because people like to they're not patient. They have very low attention spans. So I think it's something that we all need to work on as an industry. Ethereum and every other chain is the same, especially EVM ones. But you mentioned AI, and I realized I never talked about AI during this conversation.
Oh, please do.
AI is something that we are really looking into, like, deeply, and I've been testing a lot with vibe coding recently, and I love using Replit. It's an app that changed the way I kind of create ideas, because I am an ideas man, and I'm sleeping in the bed and I think of an idea, wake up, write it on my notes. The next day I try to build, and it was always so difficult for me because I'm not an engineer. I get these ideas, I can draw, I can create design and create flows, but I never was able to code it. Now these vibe coding apps like Replit and Cursor and AI tools, it gives the power to each and every user that wants to build something, and I think it's going to change a lot of things within the ecosystem, because now, going from idea to prototype, it just takes a day or two. It used to take maybe weeks or months, and spending a lot of money. So the barrier is much lower, and the costs of developing is much lower. And I think we're gonna see a big shift in the type of builders that are building on chains, and obviously you need the engineers, the senior ones that are, proficient in launching apps that are, foolproof, because obviously these products, vibe coding apps, they're not the greatest secure and the best apps yet. But AI is developing so fast, so we don't know what's going to happen in a year or two. I think we want to be part of that movement. We want to give the power to all the people who have an idea, not just because when you join hackathons or builder events, usually the business developer, the marketing guy usually has the idea, but he needs to find that developer to build for him, and that matchmaking has been always so difficult. So now we don't have to worry about that so much, and we're willing to offer some sort of memberships to some of these tools to be utilized by our ecosystem and our community. So that's something that I want to say. I think we will see much more dApps, even if they're not polished. We will see a lot of quick and dirty dApps that are trying to solve problems, and we'll see results very quickly, in my opinion.
I completely agree with you. It's so cool, and I think I believe that there will be a democratization somehow, right, of these. Like okay, we move from I need to be a super skilled developer, to launch a token, to pump.fun, boom, 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 boom. So we move from launching 1 token per day to launch 1 million token per day, right?
Yeah, crazy.
That was crazy. I'm not sure if it was good or bad. I don't want to, express myself about that. But,
it's a good experiment. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. It was interesting, at least, from a social perspective, it was interesting. And it's not done yet. I think that we would continue for a while, maybe forever, because people like to gamble everywhere in the world, right? But I love this idea that there will be more accessibility to everyone to try to build up something, to see it live, to see it working, to get their hands dirty, also with a little bit of AI, and for sure we will have more ideas. So this would contribute to a faster evolution, a faster discovery of human needs, and more, just better. I think when you have a market that it's more fair, where more people can enter, you will have a more interesting market, a more healthy market in general.
100%. Yeah, that was the big problem I think we faced. I usually received a lot of emails from people who have great ideas, but they didn't know how to build. And I always had to tell them, find a co-founder, find an engineer co-founder, and then come back. And now I don't have to say it anymore. I can just tell them, here's a code to build on Replit. Come back with your prototype. Let's see if it actually works, and we go from there. Yeah.
Cool. We will add also this in the comments. So these two apps that you have been experimenting with.
Yeah, I will be. So the idea is to purchase a lot of. Not a lot, maybe like 100, 200 codes to offer 1 month trials for our community. I'm in the process of purchasing it. Once it's ready, we can share it through our channels. We can post it together and see who can build their ideas fastest.
That's very interesting. Sure. I mean, I'm sure that we will have also some, let's say, AI agent or whoever you want to call it, that would be able also to audit this idea before putting them live, ideally, right? To do at least a general check.
I actually did have a call just before this podcast with a company who is building exactly that. It allows generation of smart contracts and auditing of smart contracts with AI.
Okay.
So that is something we're working on as well to implement into our ecosystem, which is going to be great because, auditing smart contracts actually costs a lot of money, and for startups and small time founders, it's not easy all the time. So hopefully we'll give them an edge if we can offer them this opportunity.
Or let's say a more safe environment where they can experiment with these vibe coding, so they can put them live and test it and see if it works, if they don't break.
Yeah. Indeed.
Very interesting. Well, for sure, let us know when this new initiative move forward. So ideally, we're gonna have more apprentice coders, going live all of a sudden.
For sure. Yeah, even like after you build something that is kind of interesting, even if you're not an engineer, with an idea, it's very difficult to convince an engineer who is working on something. But with a tangible product that is not even like fully done, but like halfway there, that can offer how the flow works, how the business model actually works, it's much easier to convince the third party to jump on board. So I think again, finding a co-founder is necessary. I believe, like as an engineer, a co-founder is necessary. But yeah, to find that co-founder, you kind of need to show something as well, which will make it much easier for them.
Absolutely. So your sales process, start, to get on board your co-founders, and that can be, a beautiful starting point. I would say also for investors. So if you can already publish something on, on testnet, for example, and someone is using this testnet, and they are experiencing your app, you do have a little bit more than, I have a fantastic idea. Actually, it's a deck. Okay, great. If you tell me, I have it already in testnet, there are people using it. So, okay, now you have my attention, right? So it's one step forward.
Indeed, I agree.
All right. Okay, I think we had an amazing chat about Chiliz and the great opportunities for builders on Chiliz. Is there anything that you want to add or something that you want to say to our community?
I want them to actually be proactive, because we tend to have a lot of things on our plate usually, and sometimes forget on things to follow up. It's usual, it's because it's a very hectic environment. We travel a lot. We talk to a lot of people. So I think being proactive and chasing each other, not just us, like even themselves chasing their own ideas. It's important to be proactively doing something, like every day at least do something. Even if you don't do anything, just send a message or post a tweet or something, I think that's what I wanted to say, because I realize our community is there, but we need to become a bit more active together, and I'm happy to be part of that and support them in that process. And yeah, if anybody wants to reach out anytime through Discord, Telegram, email, whatever you guys feel like. I think Telegram is the best way, because we're always there. And always happy to provide support. If you build something, show it to us. We might ask you to join the HyperNest accelerator. Who knows? Yeah, so that's it.
Fantastic. All right, we'll put in our comments, all the good links. So to Chiliz, also because an hackathon is going to happen soon. So also they need to subscribe the hackathon if they want to build something fantastic. It's going to happen in Paris, correct?
Yes, Paris in July. Yes.
So what's better than that? And the greenhouse also going live. Apparently, Altug spilled a little bit of information. It's probably going to be next week. And then we're also going to put a little bit more information about the bootcamp and what is going to be inside the bootcamp. So also get in touch, build something fantastic, and use the suggestion from Altug with vibe coding. So get your hands dirty, and resilience.
Exactly. Never give up. That's the thing. Never give
up. If you didn't send 1 million follow-up in your life, you are not a real entrepreneur. I think
exactly. Exactly. And we're here for you guys. Alessio is a great help, and he's always hands-on, and I'm sure he'll be happy to also, answer questions if there is any. And me too. I'm always here.
Absolutely. I mean, there is one of the greatest I think happiness moment for me is when I see an entrepreneur that is very deep in a problem, probably much more than me, and he look at me and he's happy about what I'm telling him. At that moment, I feel really, really proud of myself that I provide some support to someone that is ultra smart and it's ultra deep inside the problem. I think this is a great part of my job.
It is. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, I guess. Is that true?
Yeah, you feel that you're useful. So after all, right? So I say, okay, wait, today I've done something good. Okay, I can be happy tonight.
Indeed, I agree. Yeah, same for me. I would be happy to feel accomplished after helping somebody. And I think it's something that as entrepreneurs, I've been helped a lot throughout my life, so it's like giving back to them in a way. I see a lot of entrepreneurs helping each other to get again 0 to 1. Yeah, it's a culture, I guess, that we're trying to build here. Culture
Absolutely.
of collaboration in a way.
Absolutely. One of the part of the boot camp is the mastermind session. So where essentially we get different entrepreneurs building different things, and they get together discussing their problem. And this part of peer coaching, it is very, very powerful. I've done it also all my life before. So with other entrepreneur, it's part of peer coaching, trying to help someone with a different problem already stimulate your mind. And also you get help from these people, and often they have already had the problem that you're having at that point. It's so useful. And without considering, you make friends with these people that are great. So what's better than that, right?
And yeah, if it doesn't work out at that stage, like you say, they become friends, and maybe you see them again in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, who knows?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm still messaging the group of entrepreneurs that I had in Vietnam. They're beating crazy stuff, every now and then I call back, I say, okay, how's it going? Oh yeah, my company is doing this, now we're working for Disney. I say, what? Yeah, I'm working for Disney, we're doing 3D stuff. I say, okay, that's amazing.
I heard, yeah, Vietnamese developer community is massive. I guess we need to tap into that as well, because it's a good market there.
We should, and we have a lot of connection in Vietnam, Altug. So if you want to organize something there, no problem, as you know.
Sounds good. So we'll loop in Darren, who's our events manager as well, and to see what we can do in Vietnam, so we can tap into that builder community for sure.
Absolutely, enormous builder community. In fact, many others are experimenting in that part of the world because it's just the community is enormous, and they are interested in doing things. So yeah, let's keep this in the back of our mind.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, it has been an amazing chat with you, Altug, as usual. And looking forward then with our collaboration, and to everyone that was listening to us, interested, we'll drop the link in the comments. Just get in touch with us. Have a beautiful day. Thanks again for participating, Altug.
Oh, thank you, Alessio, for having us, and see you everyone. Bye-bye.